you shouldn't do it. Your son should do it, because this is all a bunch of 16-year-olds in here killing the game, getting rich, making millions. So forget you. You're too old for this. Get your son involved in it. That was number one. And number two, he said, if you want to learn the game, you should learn it from this cat, Artur Merabian. And I said, well, if you're telling me you're a dude that I know is crushing, and you're telling me if I want to learn how to do something, I should learn how to do it from this guy, I'm not just going to keep that guy to myself. And now, Escaping the Drift, the show designed to get you from where you are to where you want to be. I'm John Gafford, and I have a knack for getting extraordinary achievers to drop their secrets to help you on a path to greatness. So stop drifting along, escape the drift, and it's time to start right now. Back again with another episode of Escaping the Drift, a show that, like the title says, man, gets you from where you are to where you want to be. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people swimming pretty fast right now, making some serious dollars in the current crypto market. And I know nothing about this. Like, I'm the guy, it's funny, Cody Sperber posted something up not too long ago that said, every single time he buys Bitcoin, the shit goes down the next day. Like, every single time he does it. I'm the same guy. That's my same thing. And I have a friend of mine, we may talk about him shortly, but for right now, I'll leave him unknown. But he is kind of a guru in the high-risk world of meme coins. And I watch him on Instagram just posting win and big gains after what it is. And I randomly made a joke to him on Instagram where I said, I'm going to have to give up selling real estate and learn how to trade this stuff with you. To which he replied two things, right? He replied, you shouldn't do it. Your son should do it, because this is all a bunch of 16-year-olds in here killing the game, getting rich, making millions. So forget you. You're too old for this. Get your son involved in it. That was number one. And number two, he said, if you want to learn the game, you should learn it from this cat, Artur Merabian. And I said, well, if you're telling me you're a dude that I know is crushing, and you're telling me if I want to learn how to do something, I should learn how to do it from this guy, I'm not just going to keep that guy to myself, because that's not what the generosity of the podcast is all about. I'm going to track him down, and I'm going to drag him into studio to give some of this knowledge to all of you guys. So here we are. If you're crypto, if you're a high trader of super knowledge of all of these things, great. Hope you'll get something out of this. If you are an idiot to it, as I am, and you seem to lose money every time you invest in any cryptocurrency, hopefully this will prevent that from happening again, because I'm hoping it happens with me. So welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Artur Merabian. Artur, yes, welcome, buddy.
John, thank you for having me.
You bet, man. So let's start with a little bit about you, because obviously, look, man, Ari's a guy that knows how to make money, and for him to recommend you, that means you've got some serious chops behind you. So how did you get into this, and what is it that you do?
Right. So first and foremost, I'm the founder of Stock Unlocked. We're an education company. We teach people technical analysis, how to trade the charts. Mm-hmm. And that can be applied whether you're in stocks or crypto or even the Forex markets. I think I got started probably the same way as everyone else. Like, I heard about it from my best friend and my roommate. At the time, we were buying Monero, which no one ever buys anymore now. But every check I got, I was throwing $50, $100 at ETH. I was buying 1 or 2 ETH. It was $40 to $45 then. This was 2016. Mm-hmm.
How old were you then doing this?
Let's see. I'm 32 now.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better. You look younger than 32.
Yeah, thank
makes
you.
me feel better.
Thank
a little
you.
better.
So about eight years ago?
8 years ago. Okay.
8 years ago.
All right. So you didn't start out as a 16-year-old. You actually started out as a little bit older.
I wish I did. Now all these kids are so early in it, just buying Doge early just because it's Doge and, it's cheap. I wish I was that early. But now I'm seeing more and more, kids who were 18 to 20 who started in e-com, drop shipping, and now they're eating up the trading game. And they're smart at it too.
What makes someone good at this?
I think it's the desire to want to learn things naturally or kind of for yourself, like the urge of wanting to learn and test something out and be very hands-on with something. That's from the thousands of people that have gone through my program. That's kind of the niche that I see that really excels, and they excel quickly when they're really just hungry for the info.
So is this something that, like, for example, I know that when the meme coins start running and start going like crazy, Ari's like, I'll see you in 3 months, right? Like, I'm going to be married to these charts and married to my computer.
Right.
This is not a passive game, trading crypto, I'm guessing.
So trading crypto is a passive game. Trading meme coins is not a passive game. They say meme coin season and shitcoin season, if I can say that.
Sure, yeah, that's what it is.
But they come in phases, right? It always starts with the heavy hitters, Bitcoin and Ethereum. That trickles down to the altcoin market, and then that trickles down into the meme coin market. And there is that 3-4 month window when you can really take advantage of it, and then it kind of dies out.
So when Bitcoin starts booming, that everything like that raises all. They say that the tide rises all ships.
Right.
Everything starts when that starts moving. So if Bitcoin starts moving heavy, then you can assume that eventually it's going to get to the weird, wacky.
Right. I always say this probably might be a good example of once all the money is out there and it's like quote unquote out in the hands of the dumb money who have reaped the benefit of the last 6 months of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins pumping. Then starts the frenzy of the meme coin market. And then all of a sudden you see this dumb money get sucked all back up from the meme coins. They lose it all in these meme coin gambles, and it goes right back up to the top. Like, and I give the example, it was kind of like the pandemic, right? They gave everyone all this money. Mm-hmm. Everyone had all this extra money. Everyone was trading stocks in 2020, 2020. Everybody. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, now look at the state of America. Everyone's in credit card debt. No one has money, all that money. But who's doing crazy earnings reports? Apple, Nvidia, BlackRock. But all that money is just going right back up to the chain. And you can see it in the earnings reports of the stock market. And that's what happens in the crypto market is all these meme coins start to pump out. A lot of them are scams. A lot of the stories that you hear too, oh, this person put $100 in this wallet, they made 8 million. 80 to 90% of those stories, they're fabricated and they're pushed out into the market to make people want to gamble in the meme market. And I can tell you firsthand, I've seen hundreds of people who gave up all their profits in the last 6 months just throwing it at memes.
Just chasing that stuff. Because that's a zero-sum game. I mean, for you to win, someone else has to lose. And when you lose, someone else is winning. And it's probably the person that pumped out the story that somebody put $100 in and turned it into 8 million.
Right.
Ugh. All right. Let's assume, all right, and I do trade stocks. So stocks is something that I've always traded, but let's assume for the sake of today's process, and we're going to walk this through. Let's assume that I know nothing about nothing, right? Okay. Which hopefully somebody is listening to this that knows nothing about nothing, hopefully.
Yeah.
Let's try to educate them as much as we can going through this. So let's assume that I know nothing.
Okay.
What should I start? Where should I start? You tell me.
Yeah.
You've got $500.
Right.
Where should you start?
My first recommendation is just go to YouTube automatically. Don't try to learn about strategies or find out what stock or coin is going to do the next 20x. Go find out what the basic fundamentals are. What's a limit order? What's a market order? What's a stop loss? To make sure that you're not risking all of your capital. Just learn the basics. Learn the mechanics of the platforms. A lot of these platforms are different. They have a ton of features. Some are very complex. Some are very easy. So just learning the basic fundamentals of how the market works, and then start to dive into looking at one strategy, two strategy, and stick to those strategies. You can be a very profitable trader by just knowing one strategy. And then the next step up is find someone who's been there.
Who knows it and go from that route.
Right.
So are we talking about stocks? Are we talking about crypto? What are we talking about?
Both. So funny thing is I started in crypto 2016. 2017, I was in the high life. I just made my first million ever. I did not sell anything. In 2018, it dropped all the way down to 200. And then at that point, I was like, well, let me trade it back up. I did so great long term. I must be a good trader. I destroyed it. I lost
man.
it all.
So you lost $1 million in 2018.
Yeah.
Ouch.
To be fair though, it was like 45,000 of my own money.
Right.
That had gone up to that much. I was buying ADA when it first came out at 2 cents. Like it was epic.
Oh my gosh.
But when
Could you have liquidated that at its height?
Oh yeah. I could have. Didn't. Yeah. But I didn't know anything. It was my first cycle. And then it wasn't until I met my teacher and he actually taught me in the stock market. That's why our business name is Stock Unlocked. That's where I learned how to trade, was the stock market. And that's how we started a business. But crypto was always a part of the business and a part of me.
Do you think it's easier to learn trading in the stock market than you do with crypto? It seems like you're not going to get rugged by Nvidia.
So if you're just trading like Bitcoin and Ethereum and like your like AVAX and Solana's, like coins that are high liquid, very reputable coins, learning the charts are going to be the same. Now learning meme coins and that's a completely new book. Yeah.
Because now you're really just, you're buying hype. You're buying hype,
but there's like strategic hype, and if there's a strategic rollout on the meme coin process, like how it all works, like it pumps every time it gets listed on a certain crypto exchange, and that's when more and more people hear about it and they buy that hype. But that's when the smart money is selling off of those stories, because they're the ones who pay to get listed on the exchange, and then they pay to promote the story that they got listed on the exchange. So they bring in new liquidity and then they quote unquote rug and exit out.
And that's it. So let's talk about that specifically. Let's break that down a little more.
Okay.
So let's say that I'm looking for the next big crypto thing.
Okay.
Based on, I'm trying to buy on the hype train.
Okay.
How would you find one early?
Right.
And what are the leading indicators you're looking for that this is going to go somewhere?
Okay. So leading indicators to one, find something, you got to be on X. X is where all the quote unquote degens are. That's like the finance social media. Like people who are actively in finance or very active in crypto, X is the main platform. I keep trying to say Twitter, but it's X.
Yeah, it's X now.
But that's the main platform. So if you have to find any meme that can maybe be relatable to current memes that have done well in the past, like Pepe. There's all these spin-offs on Pepe. There's all these spin-offs on Shiba. There's all these spin-offs of all these other memes. So that's the first one. Find something that is done well. See if there's a good spin-off. And then you have to find the cult-like following on it.
And how do you do all that? How do you find it?
Right. So you just go on their page, you see their page, and you just go on the comments, see their reach and see the comments. Like if you see genuine comments from people that are making their own memes of the meme and new memes, and they keep making more and more memes, like that's kind of a cult-like following, right? So that's step one on how to find something that has potential.
Mm-hmm.
Next, you want to see, okay, do they have their liquidity pool locked? Because they have to put together liquidity to launch the token.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a feature that you can check to see if that liquidity is actually locked.
Okay, real quick, for those of you that are not following this, or we're talking over your head, what he means is like all of these meme coins, shit coins, whatever, you can just create your own currency. But you've got to have, who's regulating this now? You say
the drop in a coin, anyone can do it. Me and you.
Anybody can do it. We could go start our currency right now.
We could do one with an hour. We just got to call the right people and we'll launch it in an hour.
In an hour?
Yeah.
Launch our own currency. Okay. But how do you know that the liquidity is locked? Meaning the original.
Right.
How do you know that?
So there's several tools to do it. One is literally called Poop Scan.
Okay.
So there's a few tools out there that you can go and you copy and paste the token contract into the tool, and it'll just give you all the stats. And now they've made it even easier. There's a website called Dex Screener. There's a website called Dex Tools, and you just go on there and you can just click it and you see like all the details about it. How many coins are out in the market, if the liquidity is locked, if they plan to burn any tokens to dilute the supply, all the stuff you kind of need.
And liquidity locked means they can't just pull the plug on it.
Right.
Is it locked for a certain amount of time or locked forever? What's the, does the lock expire?
So the locks do expire, and it just depends on the launch. They can lock.
Can you see how long the lock is?
You can.
Okay.
You can, because it's all in the smart contract. So
okay.
If same thing, if you go on Deck Screener, you can see that it'll have an icon that the liquidity is locked. It'll say it. And then if you're a little bit more knowledgeable, you can click view on Etherscan, or if you're trading a Solana meme coin, view on SolScan. And then you can actually see the smart contract on how the coin was launched, and you can see the period. You can see the time period that the coin has the liquidity locked for.
So when the liquidity unlocks, how many of these coins just implode the second after that happens?
It's like musical chairs. When the music stops, who's the first one on the seat and the last one out?
Oh man. So what percentage of people do you think that are trading this stuff know to look for this stuff?
Probably the people who've been in it first, right? The people who've done a cycle before. If you're coming new in this game, unless like you're talking or you're in the right group chats or in the right discords and the right chats, like people are helping out, telling you, hey, like this coin is their liquidity is unlocked, or it's a honeypot, which is even worse.
What does that mean?
So a honeypot is a coin that you can only buy and not sell. That's literally in the contract. So only the creator of the coin is just reaping money.
So why was it? Because they don't look.
Because they don't know. They don't even look to see if, and it says right there on the websites that I named,
right,
if it's a honeypot or not. And
people just
don't
see
know.
it on a Discord, see it on Twitter, and they just, or on X.
Yeah, or they
just buy it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh man, real estate's seeming better and better by the second. It's easy. It's making it easier.
Look, it's not like that in the other markets.
Right. So let's talk about that, because I think it's probably easier and better to learn this stuff trading stocks. I mean, that's how you learn, right?
Yeah. I did.
So anybody can open up a TD Ameritrade account, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
No, they changed it, I guess.
Yeah.
TD is still TD Ameritrade. But anybody can open an account like that. You can open a trading account pretty simply. I think Robinhood's dead now, I think.
Webull is my go-to.
Webull's your
go-to? Great UI. It's my go-to.
Actually,
and
for trading stocks.
Yeah, and they just Canada was restricted, but now they allow Canada as well.
Okay. So you're trading Webull, which is cool. Okay. Correct. So I set up my account with my $500 on Webull.
Yep.
So what should I do?
All right. Your account's set up, and I didn't make this up, but Warren Buffett did, right? Buy what you like is what he says. So the first thing I tell people is just start to look at the stocks and the charts of stuff that you like, because you're naturally going to keep up with the news, right? So in my past life, I was a diehard gamer. So naturally, I keep up with the tech sector. I keep up with the chip sector, right? Like NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Tesla, right? Just all the stocks in the tech sector that I like, because I naturally keep up with the news. And I tell you to pick 4 to 6 stocks to look at, or 4 to 6 coins to look at, and just watch how they move. I always like to say every stock or coin has their own personality. Like we know Apple doesn't really move more than 2 to 3% per day. It's very rare unless something big is going on.
Yeah.
Tesla, on the other hand, can rip your face off out of nowhere for 7 to 10.
Because Elon can open his mouth and say something crazy and crash the stock.
Yeah. So everything kind of has their personality on how they move, and they all have the same levels that they trade at. So that'll come with time and kind of learning the levels. But for example, like way back in the day when Beyond was trading around the hundreds, like I knew over 117, 121 was the next level, 124.
Why did you know that?
Level. I had just been watching it. Either it would go to 121, it couldn't break, right back down to 117. If it held 117, it would try to go back right back over to 121. So you just start to watch it for a while,
I used to do that with MGM, just bounce it up and down. Yeah. Because it just seemed to bounce.
Yep.
Like that forever and never really break through the bottom. It would just always go up and down like that.
And then my next piece of advice would be to learn some moving average strategies. That's going to be the very most simple way to learn kind of those bouncing areas.
How do I learn? So explain that.
So you can go on YouTube, type in moving average strategies, see what pops up. The very common ones are like the 100 simple moving average or the 200 simple moving average. We use the 8 and 34 a lot in my group.
Which are what?
They're a lot quicker moving averages, and there is the 8 and 34 numbers are as well in the Fibonacci cycle, and the 144 moving average, 144 is also in the Fibonacci cycle.
See, I didn't know. Real says you don't understand any of that because I didn't understand any of that.
Sorry, it's
outside of Tool making a song based on the Fibonacci sequence. That's about all I got there. So that's all I got. So back up.
Okay.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? What you just said?
Okay. So in simple terms, moving average is basically the price that something has been traded at. So if we talk about the 200-day moving average, so if you turn on that indicator, you'll see this red line pop up on your screen, and that's the average price that stock or coin was trading at for the last 200 days. So if it's trading above that, that's like quote unquote bullish. That means it'll continue going up, right? If it's trading under that moving average, then that means it's bearish and that it's going down and the trend is down. That would probably be the simplest way to explain.
The simplest way to do it. So on the 200. So what were the ones you trained on? The 8 and
the 8 and the 34.
So you're looking at an 8-day average, and a 34-day average,
right?
How do those numbers work together?
So what you want to do with the moving averages is identify if the trend has started bullish. Like I was saying, the simple way, if it's above the red line, the trend is going to go up. So what I look for when I'm using the 8 and the 34 is I'm looking for that 8-day line to cross above the green 34 line. So I make my 34 EMA green.
Okay, so you have your 34-day line, and if the 8-day line goes over 34, now you're buying.
That's my go, and I know the trend has started to go to the upside.
Okay.
And then whenever the white line, which is the 8, crosses down below the green line, which is the 34, then I'm out or I'm either shorting it.
Okay, because okay, so you're establishing the 34-day average price, and then you're watching it over to 8 days to peak that. Okay, so that's how you're using those two numbers together. Okay, so buy stocks you like, figure out moving averages, whether you should be in or out of them.
Right.
Because this, most people give the stock advice of like, set it and forget it. Just buy stock and forget about it.
Right.
You find that to be bad advice?
No, I mean, if you're in it for the long-term investing, then set it and forget it. If you're trading, you're swing trading, holding for 1 month, 2-3 months, there's very technical ways to do it. And even if you are someone who is a set it and forget, just use what I was saying in a longer time frame, like a daily or a weekly chart, and you'll find those same things. Like if you just go on your phone right now, or if anyone is, you open up the S&P 500, go on indicators, just add that.
Let's do it. Let's do it,
man.
So where am I going? Going?
Which platforms you got?
I'm on Apple.
Okay.
Oh, what trading platform do I have on here?
Yeah. Do you have like a Webull or TradingView? I think I have TD
Ameritrade on here. Let me see.
Okay.
So what am I looking at? I'm on Ameritrade.
Yeah. Do they have charts, right? Are you on the Thinkorswim app?
Not on Thinkorswim on my phone.
Okay. Is it cool if I show it on my phone?
Yeah, totally. Go ahead.
Easy.
Oh man, I got to redo my passwords. I updated my phone, and now none of my apps work.
Nah, it's the worst.
It's the worst. So we're just gonna go with yours. I'm gonna let that down.
No problem.
No, Thinkorswim's cool, but I don't have it on my phone. Is Thinkorswim a TD Ameritrade app, or is it just works well with
it? It is.
I didn't know if they made it or not.
Yeah, and then what's their face? Charles Schwab actually purchased TD.
Right. I think that may be why on my phone I can't get in there. Because my account may be a Charles Schwab now.
So let's go to COVID. I always like to show people this drop. Here you go.
Okay. All right, there you go.
So if you zoom in,
all right,
and you take a peek, that big drop there that we have, that is the low of the pandemic of 2020s, that big drop down. So you see when the candles are trading above the green line, how the asset is trending upwards?
Yes.
And then when the candles start to trade below the green line, the assets start to trend down. And then the move is accelerated when the white line crosses down on the green line.
Yeah.
And then if you look about 2-3 months after the drop, when the candles go above the green line and the white line crosses above the green line, the asset starts to go up. And that's on a daily time frame chart.
Yep.
So if you're someone who's like, you know what, I don't want to trade. I want to know when I can buy, when I can sell on the longest time
Just
frame.
watching this one thing.
Yeah. Either daily or the weekly charts, even better.
What chart is this? What is this
That's
called?
a daily one right now.
This is the daily S&P 500
correct.
trust.
Yep. And you can go to right now if you want. You just got to go all the way to the right. Just go on the current time. Here is present day and present day trend.
Okay. Good day today.
We're bouncing on the green still. We're holding support. So that's what I was saying. If you don't know the levels, the easiest way is to
watch the white line and see if it goes
above the green. And then as long as the candles are staying above the green line, the asset's bullish.
So this says buy, buy, buy is what this says.
Correct.
Okay.
And the goal is to buy as close to the green line as possible because that's going to be the best average price to buy.
Because then it should push away from the green line as it goes up when everybody buys.
Yep. And then the further away that you're trading above that green 34, the more likely that it's going to pull back to the 34.
So just looking at this, the green line is what?
The green line is the 34 EMA.
And then the white line is the 8-day.
Is the 8 EMA. Yep.
8-day trending thing.
Correct.
And then the candles are just the dailies.
Yeah.
Got it. So you're just this is your main trading strategy?
That's like the starting foundation of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I got it. It's funny. I got my tattoo in the Fibonacci's all tattooed right here. It's like my whole strategy's on my thigh.
So you're trading 100% on the Fibonacci strategy.
Yeah. Fibs, moving averages, and then supply and demand are my top three.
Is there AI that'll spit this out now for you?
The issue is with AI trading at the moment is they don't get real-time data and real-time processing. Right.
But you can't. So that, I watch this all the time, and I was just watching, who was it? Jamie Dimon, who is CEO of Chase. Chase? Yes.
Okay.
And no, Jamie Dimon's the CEO. Is it Chase? It might be Chase.
I'm not sure.
Jamie Dimon, he's one of the CEOs of one of the big banks, and I don't want to misspeak because I know somebody's going to blow me up in the comments and say, Jamie Dimon's the CEO of this company. I'm going to say, okay. Jamie Dimon is the CEO of Chase. Okay, there you go. There you go. Internet haters. It was the CEO of Chase. He said the other day that AI is going to profoundly impact jobs in the financial sector. Because, my thing is if you give AI real-time data with this stuff, they can execute trades on your behalf. My thing is, number one, trades in any market, if you're trading Forex or cash or commodities or stocks or whatever else, it's supply and demand. Prices go up, prices come down based on demand. So it's kind of an interesting deal when you put AI out there because like if I have one AI, yes, it has the advantage because it's trading quicker than all of the human traders.
Right.
But if everybody's implementing this, you see what I'm saying? Like, is it going to go, how's that going to work?
So right now there is already algorithms trading massive scales. There's too much money in the stock market to just be controlled by humans. In the stock market, the first half hour, 45 minutes of the most volatile, that's the most human interaction. And then throughout the day, their algos kick in. And what I've seen is a lot of people market algos as now AI because it's trendy and it's so wrong. But now it's throughout the day, it's algos doing it, right? If an asset hits a certain price, the algos kick on, hey, we need to start buying. We need to start buying. If the asset hits a certain price, hey, we need to start selling. How I found out about the 144 moving average was from my mentor. He worked at Goldman Sachs for 16 years. He was a risk analysis for them. Okay. The 144 is one of their algos. When an asset goes above the 144, their algo starts buying. That's why some of these lines that I show you are so pinpoint because there's some of the algorithms buying that we know that some of the smarter folks are doing out there in the market.
So you just know when A plus B equals C automatically with no human action whatsoever, this is going to start moving because the computer's going to start buying.
Correct. And I'm sure they'll find a way to implement AI. It's just a matter of time, and I'm sure they're already doing it. I just really don't know about it. But I'm very curious to see how AI handles the human component of trading, because trading on the massive firm level, they play battleship against each other all the time. You got firms battling firms. Like, for anyone that doesn't know crap about the market, I'm sure everyone heard about GameStop and AMC.
Sure, of course.
I laugh about this all the time. It was just a story. People think, oh, it's retail. Oh, it's retail. No one bothered to go on the AMC website or go on the GameStop website and look at the public investor information at the bottom of the website and see Vanguard, BlackRock, and I want to say Fidelity were buying massive, and I mean massive amounts of shares in both AMC and GameStop months before it was viral, 3-4 months before the squeeze. And when the GameStop fiasco happened, I missed it. And my philosophy says never FOMO. So I did not FOMO.
Yeah.
So I looked at all the other short squeeze potentials. It was BlackBerry, Nokia, AMC. AMC started getting buzz around around the higher level traders that I speak with. So what I do, I go on the AMC page and I went on the investor page, and that's when I saw. And then I went on GameStop. I'm like, oh crap, they were buying it too. So if you AMC, BlackRock, Fidelity.
So you think the big firms are the ones that cause the short squeeze just to bury their competitor?
Do I think? No, it's without a doubt. Without a doubt they did, not retail. And then hype was pumped out in the news like crazy, right? More and more and more. And then of course retail got into, and that added fuel to the flame. But this was a battle of firms way before retail.
Do you think the big firms have a marketing arm, like a covert marketing arm that's on X in the Discords pumping this shit out?
I would not be surprised whatsoever.
I mean, it just seems like if this stuff happens and the magic is in public sentiment on some of this random stuff, it would behoove them to have, I mean, you talk about the Russians are employing, bots to try to change the election. Why would you not?
Weren't we just talking about how you go on Instagram and all of a sudden you see like a ton of, oh, thank you this person for X, thank you this person for X.
Yeah.
Now there's bots literally on Instagram. That's why it's so toxic, like just designed to make a comment to anger one side so dramatically. And the same thing they have a bot to comment and make that side so angry. It's just fuel to the fire. So do I think they buy stuff to make people think, yeah, that's the nature of the game?
Oh my gosh.
They've been pumping stocks like that as long as you can think of. Jim Cramer, this goes way before I was even born. They were pumping penny stocks.
All right, let's talk about Jim. Let's talk about good old Jim Cramer, because I think what they put his results up. I think there's a ton of pages where you can say like this is stuff he said to buy, and it very rarely works out positively.
They made a crypto like quote unquote ETF that literally bought the opposite of everything Jim Cramer did. And that thing was pumping at 95% accuracy for a year at one point. It was hilarious.
Oh my God. Do you think that he is bought and paid for in that aspect? What's your this is your opinion, we're not slandering Jim Cramer. We're just wondering if that's
No, I almost wonder. I feel like Jim Cramer is the man of the people, because everyone already knows what he says. Just do the opposite and you win.
Oh my God. Don't buy what Cramer says. That's less. Are there any TV people that you would watch or shows that you would watch that you would take any of their advice besides doing the opposite?
No. And I'm such a firm. I actually don't listen to the news. I'm pretty ignorant at times to the news, and my own traders in my group like, oh, did you hear this happen? I'm like, oh no, I should research that, because everything happens in the chart first. It's in price action first before anyone opens their mouth. And I'll give you a great example of that.
Yeah.
CGC, cannabis stock. Cannabis just flew the last few months. It started getting bullish, that 8 and 34 EMA cross. I'm like, it's time to buy. And then I saw crazy volume coming in. I'm like, oh, this is a buy signal. A month later, Germany now legalizes weed. Canada just got crazy tax breaks. And last August, there was the most volume ever in cannabis stocks, even though they were all-time lows. And again, cannabis had a crazy pump. And then 2 months later, they said, oh, it's probably going to be legal on the federal level. So it's always It's always out in the market, in the charts first, because that's the one thing that won't lie. Price action. What are people buying and selling for?
Yeah. Well, of course, the best stock traders in the world are sitting in the Senate, the House of Representatives in Washington. Yeah, Pelosi's best trader in the world. Do you think we'll ever see a time when they'll take that and make that illegal for elected officials to have stock portfolios? They should.
I did see something just pop up kind of recently in the news and a little bit last year that, like a vote is getting passed that Congress should not be allowed to trade and the Senate shouldn't be allowed to trade. And we'll see if that gets passed.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Right after term limits, they'll pass that.
And Pelosi's husband is a hedge fund manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit of a conflict.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit of a conflict there, but there you go. So you would would you recommend to people getting into the game start with stocks over crypto and stuff?
No, not at all.
Not at all? Okay.
I recommend if you do go in the crypto, do not get distracted by the stories of 100 went into 1 million. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've never done that. I have made 1 million off of memes, and most of the stories are baloney. So just follow the good coins and just follow the chart and just learn some charting.
So for you, it's like the decision is always in the math. There's no gut feeling to it. There's no hype to it. There's no anything else. It's all in the charts.
So for my normal trading, yes. For meme coins, like I said, it's kind of a different game.
Yeah.
Like in meme coins, you're trading the psychological aspect. You're trading to market cap instead of price. Like in the meme coin, the goal is to get to 5 million market cap and then a 10 and then 100 and then 500. And then
meaning what? Explain that to people that don't know what that means.
Right. So the goal, right, and what makes the meme coin and the shitcoin market so lucrative is the fact that you can make crazy multiples, right? Just the other day, I put one Solana coin, which was valued at 200.
Mm-hmm.
In minutes, it turned to 44 and I exited. So I made like $8,000 in just minutes because I got in when the market cap was like $300,000. The coin had just launched.
Oh, and then it grew and grew and grew and grew,
right.
And it split. Essentially, you're splitting is what it's
right.
happening.
So if you find a coin that is good, locked liquidity, cult-like following, their Telegram chat is popping already, you get under 5 million, you're in the sweet spot. Now you want to get to the 10 million, the 50, the 100.
But when do you know to jump out though? When do you jump off the bus?
Well, that's like
Are you trying to jump out at 99 or are you trying to jump out at 75?
I always take profits along the way, especially once I've doubled my position. Just cover cost, ride the free money. Or as they say, diamond hands, hold all the way up if you want, but that rarely works. I recommend, unless I know I'm putting 1,000 in this shit coin. If it goes to zero, I'm not going to be upset about it.
I'm okay.
Then by all means, diamond hand away. But if you put in $1,000, it's up 30%. And if that goes down, you're going to be worried. You got to start taking profits.
Well, do you think there's a correlation between all of these meme coin trading and the legalization of gambling online with sports betting? Because this is just what I kind of think, right? I kind of look at this and I look at, they made kind of sports betting legal in most states, if not all of them. And these, fraternity bros, whatever, get on their apps and they're betting on a game. And this is essentially a casino that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. You know what? Ever since they started doing that, and I'm not going to name the names of the influencers because I actually follow a lot of them. They're really funny, but now you're seeing a lot of the major influencers or old, really good Twitch streamers, like gaming streamers. Now that like Price Picks, FanDuels, and all these other platforms are just giving these influencers millions of dollars to promote online gambling, it's gotten pretty crazy. You could definitely say meme coins is the next step, right? If I'm doing crazy gambling on sports bets, of course I'm going to gamble on meme coins.
Yeah. How much of the money in meme coins do you think is dumb money? What percentage?
95%, 90%. And I'll tell you because
I'm in the 95, so there you go.
A lot of these projects are all ran by the same people. It's the same code. I've been in the trenches where I've seen 5 coins launched in one day. It's copy and pasted the same contract. They just change the name of the coin. They pay for artwork. They pay for memes. They pay for a website. It gets launched all within an hour. boom, 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 boom. It's the same teams.
And are these based in the United States, you think, or no?
Some are in the U.S., some are in Asia. South Korea is killing the meme coin rugging game. But a lot of the big players are in the U.S., believe it or not. A lot of the big players are in the U.S.
And the top players in this, how much do you think they're making a day that are launching these things? What do you think they're making?
6 figures.
Easily 6 figures a day.
Yeah, sometimes 7 if it's successful. Like for example, the person that launched Pepe, now it's called Andy, and it's like Pepe's best friend. And then there's Andy on base, and just keeps going, right? Shiba came. I got in Shiba. Wasn't one of the first, but made great change on it. Mm-hmm. And then Keisha Inu came out. I saw Keisha Inu first week, jumped on it right away because the hype from Doge trickled to SHIB, and then Kishu. And then Akita Inu launched. And I saw Akita like day one, we got in that. And then like all these other Inu dog coins just kept popping out. It's mainly the same teams.
So to be clear, there's no real intrinsic value with this stuff other than trading it.
Oh no, they're garbage. Yeah, earlier when I was saying how do I identify something, if it's a spinoff of a successful one already,
then
give it a little bit more attention when you consider it.
Just give it a little stop. And how many of these things are launching every day?
Thousands.
And how many of them are hitting every day? Handful,
yeah. I raised my hand so I could go 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, handful of them.
Yeah.
But people are looking, and then when they find the 3, everybody runs.
Some are so bad, and I'll be the first one to say it. So right after I turned that 1 Solana into 44 Solana, I was on the phone with my buddy. I was a few shots of mezcal deep. I was in Mexico, hands to tan. And he goes, "Yo, Charmander coin." I was like, "Charmander." I was like, "Pokemon." I was like, freaking love Pokemon.
I'm in.
I was like 5 soul. The second I put the 5 soul in, instant gone, coin rugged. Like they didn't even care to let it wait the second. And I was like, I just laughed. The second I put the 5 coins in, immediately taken. Like some people will just launch a coin. If they get 1 coin, they'll sell it. Boom.
If they get 1 buy, they'll just rug it and be done with it.
Yeah. I don't even think I looked to see if the liquidity was locked.
Or they had a website.
Yeah, I was having a good time. I said Charmander. I just made 44. I was like, all right, let me risk 5 over here. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the pool now.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be drinking and deciding on Pokemon characters I like to do this.
Yeah,
man. So if somebody wants to learn more about this and they want to get more involved with what you're doing, because obviously this is a really, look. Stocks is one thing, but if you're going to get into trading these coins like these guys do, you got to be in the know, and you got to be really detailed in knowing it. So if they want to hook up with you, and really learn how to learn these charts and learn how to do it, how do they find you?
Just go. It's easier to find my business one than me. Just go on Stock Unlocked, one word.
Stock Unlocked, one word.
Stock Unlocked, one word. My account is. It's right there. It says founder _Merabian, which is my last name.
Okay.
It's only there because there's just a lot of fakes. Just because anyone that's in the crypto scene has a ton of fake accounts that try to like scam people out of crypto. So just make sure you don't follow any scam accounts. And if anyone DMs you, or if I quote unquote DM you, say, "Hey, I'll trade for you," it's not me.
It's not you.
Yeah.
So how much is it to join Stock Unlocked? What am I going to get if I join?
It's $249 a month.
Which is completely reasonable.
Yeah. Or $2,400 for the year.
Okay.
So you save about $600.
A little bit discount, sure.
Yeah. And you get stocks, you get crypto, and you get Web3, meaning like the meme coins, the NFTs.
These are picks.
Yeah.
People are still trading NFTs. That's still a thing. That's not coming back, is it?
So Ordinal, which are Bitcoin NFTs, are coming back. That's a whole... I thought that was dead. I thought that was they're back.
Oh God, they're back. So I mean, because didn't what was it? Logan Paul or Justin Bieber bought one for $750,000 that's worth $10 now or something.
Oh, you're thinking Bored Apes.
Bored Apes, yeah, those things.
Oh yeah, those are way down in the pooper. Yeah, way down. They went, oof, yeah, they're hurting. They're down 70, 80 ETH. like.
Because I keep, it was funny when they built those, everybody's like, well, they're going to get one with a utility. They're going to get one with a utility. And everybody used to, when it first started, love to attach real estate to NFTs. We're going to do smart contracts and we're going to trade real estate on smart. Like, dude, you're missing one major component of that, which is every time a piece of property trades hands, U.S. government gets paid with transfer tax.
Right.
You think you're going to somehow circumvent that? You're nuts. Like there's no chance that it's going to work until they solve. I mean, look, I'm not saying that eventually title might not be stored on the blockchain, which would be easier, but the fact that you could just, trade this NFT and you'll own that property. Hell no.
Right.
Hell no.
Right.
Because Uncle Sam wants his dollars.
Of course. Yeah.
Wants his dollars. All right. So cool. So with that, and within that, you're going to get stock picking of that. Are you going to get basic information on how to read these charts? Are you going to get, is there a workflow?
Yeah. So in the stock section, if you get obviously just the stock chat floor, but if you get a weekly watch list that we put out, which are two top picks that we think will work out. You get a daily watch list, which is 4 stock trades a day. And then you get daily option trades. And then we also pay for some software. It's basically a payment for order flow. That's what Robinhood sells to Citadel that got squeezed by AMC. But we're basically able to see what the smart money is buying in stocks and options. So kind of following smart money.
Got it. Which is, anytime you can do that, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, big tool.
Or follow dumb money, which is do the opposite of what Jim Cramer says.
Right.
And that's it. All right. Well, dude, I appreciate it. It was a fascinating conversation. I hope if you're listening to this, you didn't get too I don't know what this guy's talking about. It's a little over your head, blah, blah. We tried to dumb it down for you today. I know it would some of went over my head, so don't feel that dumb. But look, man, this is the new economy, right? You're going to need to I just genuinely feel that those days of having that 401k that you put stocks in and it returns at the S&P, 6%, you let it go. You got to get a handle on your finances and you've got to get some control. So if you don't have a firm understanding of how to take control of your financial stuff, there's so much information available now.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not one that pushes products here or pushes people that I don't know, but you came so highly recommended to me by somebody that I respect. And if they say you're the guy to educate people how to do this, then you're the guy.
I appreciate that.
So congratulations. So look him up and remember, guys, we're going to be back next week with another great episode. But again, dude, if you're in a place where your financial situation is, not where you want it to be, stop drifting along with the current, man. You got to escape the drift. Stand up, start swimming, do something, take control. We'll see you next week. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us for another episode of Escaping the Drift. Hope you got a bunch out of it, or at least as much as I did out of it. Anyway, if you want to learn more about the show, you can always go over to escapingthedrift.com. You can join our mailing list. But do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, throw up that 5-star review, give us a share, do something, man. We're here for you. Hopefully you'll be here for us. But anyway, in the meantime, we will see you at the next episode.